If y'all are just joining us, welcome to the morning edition of Ashlee and Donnie Jones Live with Donnie Jones and Marty Ringer. What's happening, y'all? What's going on?
What's up?
What it do? What it do?
Here's to you.
Yes.
And here's to you. There you go.
My one, I can, cheers from here.
Yes, absolutely.
I have never got into that.
Yours looks like it's sweeter than mine, though. But you got that Starbucks going in there?
Listen, we don't do no free brand deals, but
oh, that's right, we don't.
You can clearly tell. You can tell by the cover.
Exactly. You're right. We don't do any free branding.
We don't do any free branding at all.
Send me a mug so I can have one on my side.
I am mad at you. Sponsored by Dawn's True.
Right. We will definitely send you one over there.
Yeah, we'll send you a mug. Exactly.
Donnie, did you just go on a whole like merchandise spree? Because I saw you got the hoodies and you got like some what other stuff did you get though?
We got hoodies, mugs, t-shirts, caps.
We got Vast underwear, which is great for a production company. Bringing your imaginations to life. It's just written. But
you know what? I'm gonna get Vast hair weaves. That's what I'm gonna do. Well, I don't. I'm just messing with y'all. I do not have weave in my head. This is all natural. So.
No, but Donnie does a lot of branding. She has the mugs. She has the trucks.
Oh, y'all there? Hold on. Y'all, you guys back?
We back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Disappeared for a minute.
Sorry about that. That intern.
For people that are checking in right now, they're like, what the hell is going on with those people?
Yeah, it's our intern. That's still learning.
It was our intern. Exactly. So what's going on, Ashlee?
Right. What's going on with you and the weather and everything in your side of town?
See, you guys caught me in the studio today. Usually I'm at my house. But I have to do an interview today. It's my first in-person one since all this stuff happened. So, that's
why you got the hair on point,
Right.
We got the curls flowing.
I had to watch it freshly last night. All right. But
I
am like I said, this is the earliest we've met because usually we do it in the afternoon. I'm glad that y'all
That's right. And considering I should be looking at trees right now,
Yeah.
It's all good.
But it's always good to get together in the morning time because I think that's when the energy and the new ideas and everything flow and everything. Because I got a new idea right now.
What's your new idea, Mike?
Okay, well, you know how they have the masked singer?
Yeah.
Then they have the masked dancer?
Yep.
What if they have the masked stripper?
You know what?
I was thinking about that. I'm saying if you can I'm saying you just guess like that looked like that could be Oprah. Up under that. I'm saying and it gives you another and you get people, you get a different perspective of people's name and everything. Right. Like, yeah, he looked like a Ludacris. That looked like a little bit. I'm just saying I think that would just spin off. You just be naked from the throat down and just have a mask on.
Can we do that with the guys though?
You can. You can see. Is that a Denzel? No, that can't be Denzel.
What was that movie, Magic Mike? Yeah. So what was that movie, Magic Mike? Like that?
Yeah. I didn't see that.
That was a great movie. The plot, the theme, that was good.
I never saw Magic Mike. I heard about Magic Mike. I didn't see that one. No.
You didn't partake in that theatrical event?
No. No, I have morals. And I think that was beneath my.
This guy got morals, but yet every other joke is about Megan Thee Stallion or whatever the heck her name is.
No, not every joke about her. You got something about Beyonce and her curves. I don't just pick one person.
When he's talking to a little bit,
Just saying. I'm just throwing out
either Beyonce or Meg Thee Stallion.
I'm just throwing out new ideas.
Okay.
I'm thinking, different spinoffs and everything. I think that'd be a good spinoff.
Exactly.
I know it'll be memorable and people will talk about it.
Ashlee, I can honestly say
I bet y'all watch.
don't know what to say right now.
Bet y'all will watch.
I usually have something to say.
I'm just saying.
It's too early. I know it's too early for all this. That's why.
I'm gonna ask this though. How was Sunday service?
Sunday service was off the chain. You know, we did our first Sunday of Lent, so you know I got to bring out that real cognac for the communion.
Exactly.
You know, and make it burn in the throat so they can feel that blood of
brown
Jesus
liquor.
going down.
Is cognac brown liquor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I be trying to sound hip, y'all. I don't know.
So, Marty, I have a question. So,
yes,
I'm glad you brought that up. So last week I got invited to a quinceañera, right?
Nice.
I didn't know that they have like a whole mass service before like the party.
Yes.
So this is the first one I went to. I go, and you know it's COVID or whatever, and I'm not like typically Catholic, so it's the first time I've been in a Catholic.
You're atypically Catholic, okay?
Yeah. And I went, and they were doing communion in COVID, sharing the drink. And I'm like,
I'm gonna be real with you. I went to a church in South Carolina, and they did that. I was visiting.
But they didn't have individual cups. They had
they have a chalice.
The chalice, the chalice and the
and
common.
they have the wine in there. Now, first the pastor or the preacher person sips, and then pass it around to the congregation.
No.
So you know, and this is even before COVID. So me, my kids, and my husband, we looking at each other because you know you can see it coming around to you. We're like, dude,
not me.
Not
this time, Jesus. Just keep on going. Ask me this time, oh gentle Savior. You know, because I don't trust. I'm saying we have the individual.
But
cups.
they did. But I will say this: after each sip, they did the little with the cloth.
I don't. Did they spray it? Did they spray it with Lysol?
No, but after each little sip, they wiped it with a cloth. But I'm like, no. So did they wipe it with a cloth, Ashlee?
They did, but see, I got. They have people get in line, right?
Right.
And I got in line, but I was towards the end. And as I saw what they were doing, I just slowly sat back down. Jesus knows my heart.
When you put that finger up, like I gotta go to the restroom.
I gotta go to the restroom. Exactly.
I just gotta go out to the restroom for a minute. So Marty, please tell me you ain't doing that. You ain't.
No, we're not. No.
He's got shot glasses.
He got little shot glasses. No, actually, she says that, but in so many words, all joking aside, it is the actual cups that contain everything, the wafer and the juice or the wine in it, and it's all contained in it. Yeah. So, and we don't even touch. We actually put it all. Yep.
The actual bread, though, you can't do the I hated the wafers. I hate the wafers.
But you know, I gotta tell you, I love Marty, and he keeps it 100. I remember when we've been working together for a while now, but he really is a pastor, and so he invited me to an event that he was doing at his church, and it's called
Raise the Praise,
Raise some praise, right? So I'm like, okay, it's a Wednesday night event, you know, I want to be, you know, respectful and you know just show up in my best behavior. Yeah, exactly. On my best behavior, right? So I pull up, you know, and I see people outside, they smoking a little cigarette. And I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. You know, everybody got, you know, just chilling, whatever. You know, and then I saw the little brothers outside chilling and talking. I'm like, okay, this is really nice. This is for real folks, you know, like, you know, just the people. So I go inside to sit down and there's like 3 bottles of real wine. Not, I mean, you had a red. And
this ain't communion wine. This is that good.
It was like real wine. I was like, oh okay. So we're doing it like that.
My church got a smoking section outside.
Yeah. I mean, these little, and he does have some mature people in his church, and they wasn't pouring like this. They was like this. You know, like porn.
They get it in. But I'm saying I like people to be themselves and don't be hypocritical. You're like, you know, well, I don't drink it. I don't smoke until I leave the church property.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like be yourself, be who you are, you know, and I think everything with indulgence, you know, with limitations. You know, I'm not trying to send anybody home drunk or anything like that. But it is like, that was just one lady. That was like one, she just got a drinking problem. But you know, it's just, we just try to have fun, you know, and enjoy enjoy life and everything. So
yes,
exactly. I have a different kind of church.
So Ashlee, what do you think about the your president's, our new president's first 100 days? Or when I don't think we're there yet, but we're getting there.
So obviously, we're dealing with the issue in Texas, the whole I think that's his first like natural disaster that he's had to touch. But I don't know. I think he's been progressive dealing with that just because that hit so close to home with me. But
I was gonna say,
yeah, because you got snowed in, right?
As far as like for you guys though, because I know when we were in election season, we were really just trying to get homeboy just out the door. And we're all friends on Facebook, so I'll be seeing Doni go off on the post. So what do you think? What do y'all think about our current president right now?
I'm gonna let you go first.
Huh? Yeah. You gonna ask the question, gonna let me go. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, and it's unfortunate that since that other guy got out of office, I have not really cared about politics as much. And that's being real. I haven't even been tuned in. But with a tragedy, I just said like this, I haven't really seen a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I haven't, because I know they had the impeachment trial going on. He had his cabinet get installed. With a situation in Texas with the snowstorm and everything like that. I don't know what else he could have, what he can do. I'm saying unless he's in the military, you have to put ice out, being sawed out.
Do you feel like you got? But but the thing is also predicated on the fact that you guys have weather that is breaking now. So a lot of that is being kind of being eased because you've got better weather now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, or take the stands. What was that? Was it a mayor in Texas that was just like, some of y'all ain't gonna make it, just deal with it.
Yeah, that was in that was in like a smaller city, like a little city, but they did that. Mayor like made a whole Facebook post like, y'all need to take care of your family, or it's only our responsibility.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, the thing is seeing that now that we've settled into a new administration, I still think that people are now getting hit with the fact that if it's to be, it is going to be up to me. Mm-hmm. Like I think there are laws that can be passed now. I think there are bills that can be brought up that might actually get a chance. What?
Look, sidebar. I'll bring it up second. Finish your thought.
Okay. I think that there's things that can actually be done now. But I think on a day-to-day basis, I think people still have to come to the realization that if something's going to change in their life is going to have to, it's still got to be up to them. And I still think people
some of the same things when Obama got in office. They're like, well, we ain't gonna have to pay rent no more.
Yeah,
the whole world changes because of who's in office. And it's like, no, I think that still stands on you as an individual. I'm saying this pandemic should have taught you that it's an individual thing.
Right.
You're gonna have to go out there and get it, regardless. Now, granted, we're in a pandemic, so you got to be creative. But I think even with him being in there, it's still okay. He's doing some stuff.
Yeah, he is.
But it doesn't affect me right now. Right. So I can't say that he's doing well or he's doing bad. Even your girl, how do you feel about how she's been doing her first 100 years?
100 years?
100 years.
I love Kamala. I love Kamala.
And see, that's the problem that we have sometimes. She don't know what she's done.
I don't know what she's done, but I like it.
She just don't. She don't dress good. She dressed nice.
She does.
But isn't that
what it is?
You voted for her.
She's inspiring.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's there, she is giving other young girls and women the understanding that if they work hard, stay focused on what they want to do, that they can accomplish their goals. And I really believe that she will one day be president.
This is just a sidebar. Time out. We can't do interviews in leather chairs no more. I keep hearing, and I'm looking over like, are you passing gas?
No, I'm not.
And it's the chair that keeps making noise. And I'm
it is making noise.
That's why I'm looking at you like, are you doing it on the air?
looked at me like I was crazy. What are you looking at?
Like, as a friend, you don't want to put nobody out. Like,
you would smell it if I was doing that.
I don't know. It might be some silent
killers. Mine are silent but deadly.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But I'm just out in the woods near the trees. That's why.
Okay. Yeah.
But
that's why it kept catching me off. But
something I see is you have Doni. You have your book right there, front and center. And like I said, I do follow you on Facebook. We're friends, and I see you post about your intense journey. So what is in the book? Let us all know.
From Failure to Fabulous is my journey from going to a young girl or a woman that was depressed and dealing with a whole lot of family and emotional and financial issues, and not seeing how I was going to get out of that, to finally waking up one day and going, you know what, kind of like what I was just talking about. If it is to be, it's going to be up to me, because I came from a situation where my dad was abusive. I dealt with a situation where my sister used to, I'm not supposed to say it. But anyway, yes, I can. I can say it because I talk about it on social media. But I had a relative that used to work for me that basically stole from me. Somebody I basically had taken up under my wing. And that was really kind of hard because I felt like as a kid, when I grew up, I felt like it was my job as the big sister to take care of people and to help as much as possible and give people opportunities. So it was kind of challenging to give people opportunities and to help them do better in their life, and then they turn on you and steal from you. So this is about that, and also about me, finally finding a husband that loved and cared about me, and was willing to support me in my dreams and aspirations. So from Failure to Fabulous is my journey from going from having a not so great life to building a beautiful life with a great husband, a great business, and 2 beautiful daughters, and showing people that you can do it. Because I think a lot of times we read all these self-help books and stuff, and they're like this big, and you're like, is it really that hard to become successful? And I think the work is hard, but I think the principles are simple.
Yeah.
And I think people try to make it more difficult than it actually is. I mean, even talking about my intense journey with this weight loss thing, it's not necessarily the principles to lose weight are not that hard. I just have to stick to the program. And it's the same thing in life and building a business. I had to get my stuff straightened out in order to get my life to go in the direction that I wanted it to go. And so that's what the book is about From Failure to Fabulous. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at DoniJonesLive.com. That's DoniJones live.com. But I want people to check it out so they can see that, they too can build a beautiful life.
Yes, and it's a real simple read. I'm saying you ain't even gotta be in elementary school.
If you got a 3rd grade education, you can read.
Ain't no big words at all. Not at all. It's stuff like, I didn't like her. She didn't like me. We stopped talking. It's just really, really straight to the point. So no.
At least Doni wrote it.
I'm serious. I literally wrote it like that.
Yeah,
I really did, because I've read most of the top 10 self-help books I've read, and if you go to my library, I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books. But the principles are consistent, and I just feel like nowadays we try to make it like there's a secret. In fact, there's a book called The Secret, which I do recommend.
Yep,
and I do recommend those principles and stuff.
It's a movie too.
And it's a movie. And I think those things are so true, but I feel like people need to make it digestible. I know that, I'm not the brightest person in the world.
Nope, not at all. Not close. Oh, no, sorry.
I can't stand him.
No, but I'm disagreeing. But you're
I'm
right.
not the brightest person in the world. So I feel like if I can do it, other people can do it. And I tried to make this book to where anybody could pick it up and go, this is what she actually did to overcome the challenges. I talk about overcoming adversity. I talk about betrayal. I talk about overcoming bankruptcy. I talk about
how to make your husband happy.
I do talk about that too.
Yeah.
So, I talk a little bit about everything in the book, but I do put it into nuggets that's digestible, and, you don't have to be a rocket scientist.
You said something that, I just want to kind of reiterate, because I think a lot of people deal with that, is that we know what the process calls for.
Yeah.
but we like to educate ourselves. But I think sometimes we fail to jump into the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can read the self-help books, but unless you apply them, it doesn't help.
That's right.
You know, I think people know, okay, if I wanted to lose weight, just like, okay, if I wanted to gain weight, I know I need to go to the gym. I need to get on a better diet, you know, and I know what I'm supposed to do, but I just don't do it, you know, because that's the more disciplined part of it. But saying that, you do kind of highlight your day-to-day journey in going through the process, and it's not every day hard, you know. But I do want to say I applaud you for your day-to-day challenge that you post out there and let everybody know that you are working, and it's not something you just saying.
Nope,
but
not at all.
You take that 30 minutes a day or that 30
I'm doing it 30 minutes
clip
every single day, consistently. Even when I don't feel like it, I'm working out. Even when I don't feel like it, I'm working out. Now, granted, maybe if I worked out an hour a day, the process would be going faster, but I've committed to at least 30 minutes every single day of some type of movement. And right now I'm doing an online class movement, exercise.
Okay. I thought you were talking about like because that's a part of the diet too.
He's a sick dude.
No, I'm saying that is a part. That is a healthy thing that they say that you got to have
having a movement is very important.
It is.
That's true. Getting rid of toxins in your body is very, very important.
I'm not making this up. I'm serious. You in that chair.
I know. I'm trying not to move because now I can hear it. Like I couldn't hear it before. Ashlee, can you hear that?
No, the mics don't pick it up. So
that's a good thing. But Ashlee, just curious, in the snowstorm, and I know I'm kind of changing the subject, but how did you make it through last week? Because I'm saying the power was out.
Yeah.
Couldn't get like water and everything like that. How did you make it?
So I know y'all been doing radio, but I used to do radio in Jacksonville, in Florida. And I was there for a lot of hurricanes. So at radio stations, make sure the power don't never go out no matter what. We got backup generators out the wazoo. So
that is true.
We had to sleep at the radio station for a week. So I brought dogs up here. It was like adult summer camp because we have like 6 stations in our cluster, in our building.
Oh, yeah.
It was all up here. Everybody was up here with their kids, just camped out in their office or the studio with air mattresses, just chilling. and
I could tell that's
night pretty much
slightly fun too, because we had that one time here in Atlanta. I was working at WSB, Kiss 104, but WSB where it's 4 or 5 different radio stations and TV stations and everything, and we had the snowmageddon, what we call it, and everything was shut down. And I remember having to be there at the station, and it was cool because they had wine and stuff like that all throughout the station. So I found a nice little, cubicle, and I had a nice little party by myself. And just now, my air shift was a little bit, I'll say, slurred a lot. It was like, "Hey, this is Marty Ma. How you doing tonight?" It's cold.
I've only been under the influence once on air, and you could tell it. I listened back to it, and I was like, never again.
Okay, but what's your version of under the influence? Are you talking about liquor or that other stuff? The smoky
liquor.
Smoke?
So we the cognac, the brown, just Donnie. So
the cognac.
No, the reason why I ask is, I am a little more mature and so there's stuff that I don't necessarily partake in, but I know that a lot of different people do. And, sometimes they'll use their recreational, products to go through their day to day.
So I will say this. So I'm originally from Washington State, where it's legal.
Yeah, it's legal. That's what I'm saying. It's legal.
But just in full transparency, when I was in high school, I tried it like everybody else, took a hit, whatever. And I never liked it because I don't like not having control over myself. So like not being able to get it together. And plus I think there was something else in there somebody didn't tell me, but that's besides the point.
Well, that's a whole nother story.
There's a whole bunch of different other aspects of it, and everybody has their own thing, their own vice, And I never partake in high school, and I think I tried it in college. And that's when I was like, "Oh, this ain't that bad," And then one time I said, "No, I can't do this," and then it was like, "Well, this ain't that bad,"
It ain't that bad.
Well, it depends on Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, it depends on who you are and where you are in life.
Right.
You know, and each substance.
One teach one.
Well,
so
no,
here's
each
what
thing
you do.
has their pros.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, each thing has their pros and cons. I'm saying, like, I've seen people with alcohol that, you know, you are so likely to run a stop sign.
That's right.
You know,
yeah.
And if the other stuff, you would sit there at the stop sign and try to wait till it turned green.
Yeah.
You know, because you were just like, so relax.
Yeah.
But it's like certain things you never heard people, well, they got so hot that they got to a fight.
Right. They don't.
That don't happen. You know.
That's why I personally think it should be legal. I personally think it should be legal.
Oh, and all the medical benefits.
And there's a lot of medicinal benefits.
Yes.
I personally don't want to partake in it, but I do think it should be legal.
And I'm not saying do it or don't. I'm just saying don't
I'm just saying.
Try.
Well, here's the question, Donnie. You do have kids, and I always wonder this. Even though you think it should be legal, you don't want to partake in it. How would you feel if your kids did once they get to legal age?
They grown. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily like it, but I mean, they're grown. You know, I'm not one of. I know this sounds really weird, but I'm one of these people that I really do believe that I'm doing my best to put the best information that I perceive as the best information in them, and I'm trying to lead them to live a certain way. But once they get to a certain age,
it's on you, baby girl.
You know, if they're 21, 25, heck, even 18, 19, and they're not up under my house, they have full autonomy over their body. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean I'll necessarily like it, but it also doesn't mean that I'm be like, oh, I ain't dealing with you because you smoke. Yeah. It's just that I wouldn't necessarily like it, but I don't even think it would come up in conversation for the most part because they're grown, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think it them being wrong at the same time, I think it should be an open conversation that they don't try to keep things. You know.
Well, the fact is, we have friends of ours that do it, and yeah.
I
know somebody personally.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I know some few people, but it's not a conversation that I really have with everybody. Like, do you? No, if you do, that's what you do.
Yeah,
I ain't mad at you.
Some people that are really close to me, that I care about deeply.
Oh yeah,
that
your husband.
Yeah.
So
no, they're not that close, but they're close.
So
yeah, they're almost like a little brother.
All right, Ashley, what was you saying? Okay. Yeah, she just put his own little thing right now.
Donnie, you talked about instilling the best information you believe into your kids. So please tell me you're teaching them about financial literacy.
Yes.
And how do you do that?
Don't ask me for no more money. No, I'm just kidding. It's funny you mentioned that because this morning I was thinking about the fact that I brought out the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I know a lot of people got problems with Kiyosaki right now because he's friends with 45 or whatever. But Rich Dad, Poor Dad is literally one of the best books you can read.
Yes.
I agree.
Same thing with Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Rich, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And anything where they're learning about how money works and learning why it's important not to make the same stupid mistakes I make, which I talk about that in the book, From Failure to Fabulous. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I want my kids to do better than I did at my age, at their age when, so the importance of saving, the importance of investing. Mm-hmm. My daughter understands, not my youngest, but my oldest understands the stock market probably better than I do, So those are financial literacy is extremely, extremely important. I mean, both of my girls have savings accounts that they contribute to,
that's good.
And they don't like spending their savings. Like my daughter called me the other day and she's like, hey, can you transfer me $50? I was like, you got money in your account. And she's like, yeah, but I don't want to spend my money.
That's an interesting way of teaching her to save her money. I just asked you.
Exactly. And I was like, funny you say that. I was like, well, how about this? I'll send it to you, but you need to earn this. And so she also helps. She's also been helping. If you see more about social media, she's actually been helping with our social media. So any of the stuff that's more funny or a little bit more humor that a younger generation will understand probably came from her. The corny stuff came from me.
So which one of you did the post about? It was about something about the other benefits of trees. I don't know what it was, but I was scrolling and it was like, did you know that trees give you?
That was probably me.
That was probably her.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting there reading this like, I'm gonna read this for Jeopardy one day when I get on.
Yeah. Copy and paste.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
No, she's got a brilliant mind and she'll just think of stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I don't get it. And I've got some friends of ours that are in their mid-20s, and they'll call me up and be like, "Oh, that was so funny." I'm like, "What is she talking about?" And I'm scrolling and reading. I'm like, I don't get it. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know.
The reason I asked you that is because right now a lot of people in my age cell, millennials, we were never taught about credit, about none of that. So we're all on YouTube trying to figure out how to fix our credit and how to buy a house and all this stuff. Just because in our community, it's not really knowledge that's passed down. That's why I agree with you. Right. Poor Dad. Amazing book. Something else.
And here's another thing, which I don't think parents feel comfortable doing, but I think they should do. Mm-hmm. I have a friend of mine that is way more, I mean, I do pretty good, but I'm still growing and learning. I'm super blessed, but there's stuff that I still struggle with. I have friends of mine that are phenomenal with managing money. And I like to put my kids in front of them and have them talk to them sometimes because it's unfiltered, you know, and it's not going through the lens of this is mommy. And sometimes I feel like my kids receive it better that way.
That is so good. You know, Ashlee, you made me think of something because our parents, I don't think it's just your generation, because in my generation, my parents didn't teach me about it either, you know, and unfortunately, I don't think that they knew how to teach it, you know, and that's one of those things where it was like they didn't get educated. Their parents didn't educate them. It's more just like we was raised on survive, but not how to let money work for you, you know. So I think it's just a generational thing that it's missing. And certain parents like you would get it and say, oh, now let me put this to this generation. But a lot of times our parents don't know themselves, you know, and how to teach us or how to show us how to do it.
I mean, there's still adults right now going to check cashing places.
No,
I went to check. I mean, I went to check cashing places before because even though I had bank accounts, I had my money was all jacked up, and I was like, well, I need every little dime, and this is gonna make it go negative, and then the bank is gonna put a hold on it. Well, if you keep a little something in there, they don't put a hold in there. You know, if you don't bounce checks, they don't put a hold on your money.
Yeah. I'm glad you stopped.
That was years ago. Okay. So important. And sometimes people don't talk about financial literacy because they are still self-conscious about their own situation. And in order to save our children, we got to get past that. You know, I think it's beautiful there's certain books that I read that are about self-improvement and about an area that I want to work on myself. And I've had actual friends of mine. I was in a company meeting, and one of the people that we just brought on board was like, you let your daughter read that? And I was like, well, yeah, why wouldn't I? And I guess because they talked about sexual transmutation and how your sexual energy, male sexual energy affects
you can grow rich.
all of that. And I think those are things that kids need to understand right now, you know, because a lot of times relationships and money, you know, become kind of intermingled, and that causes problems. So all of that.
I didn't know that there was such thing as financial abuse. You know, like if you're in a relationship and the man has majority of the money, how he can use that as abuse, you know, to give you this much or don't give you that.
My dad did that.
Yeah.
If you could think of any kind of abuse, my dad did it. But, you know.
But just understanding how money can affect so many different things, you know, in sex and things of that nature. So I applaud you for doing that. You know, teach them. You know, I need to sign up for some of them classes because I still ain't got it, and I'm past the 20s and 30s.
You sure about that? I thought you was 32.
I wish, but I claim it. It's not for men. If men try to bring their age down, it's usually for, you know, doing something illegal online or something like that. It was a guy that was just caught this recently. I don't know if y'all saw the news, but a guy just caught recently that was, I think he was in his 40s trying to act like he was 17 online to get. And it's like, really?
That's not good.
Like Chris Hansen type of thing, like that type of thing. Like,
wasn't he also caught doing something? Wasn't Chris Hansen caught doing something?
He was, but I'm not sure what it was, so I don't want to missing.
Yes. We'll just make up something.
Yeah, I ain't gonna. No, y'all ain't gonna get us taken off the air. We
make us
just not growing a platform, and we're gonna get kicked off by Chris Hansen. Which, by the way, don't be talking about Oprah. I'm trying to get on Super Soul Sunday.
What did I say about Oprah?
You said something about her being on the stripper thing.
I just said that she would be memorable. If she was, that's a compliment.
She was on the Masked Stripper.
I would like to see Oprah on
I want you
the
to
Masked
know,
Stripper.
I do not support this message that he said.
No,
I want to be.
I support you and who you are.
I want to tell my story.
I love all of you. Oh,
I'm gonna hurt him. I'm not affiliated with this.
Hand motion.
I do too. And you have been an inspiration for me to get into broadcasting media and stuff like that.
I think she is a beautiful person inside and out. And I just think, she should let her soul glow.
Ashlee, he's hurting my chances of getting on Oprah, isn't he?
Oh.
She's just
okay. Well, how about the Masked Stripper and it's Tyler Perry? How about that?
Okay. Once again, Tyler Perry, do not listen to him. I love you.
Donnie's trying to do part of
that's a Medea right there. That's a Medea.
I gotta tell you something about that though. Tyler Perry changed my life.
I believe
he really did. There was
and I applaud that man right now. Right now in this season, I applaud. All joking aside, I applaud him. He's doing.
I applaud Tyler Perry in all seasons. Now this squeaking is getting on my nerves. But no, the one that he did, the stage play that he did, where it was the hotel, where the lady came and her husband was cheating, and
that's all of his plays.
Oh, he got her and her kids a hotel. That one. Or no,
not the one where he got her. The one where the lady, she was a heavyset lady, and she was kind of married to this younger type dude who was kind of buff, and then he was cheating on her. She had a good job, and
but
anyway, you know what? But anyway, it was one of his earlier stage plays.
Okay,
and the whole theme of that stage play was around forgiveness and around claiming your own power. Mm-hmm. And so my sister, who's actually passed now, my sister Ruth, who I love very much, passed, she actually introduced me to his plays, and I started watching his content. And a lot of times whenever I was in a low place, I would pop in one of his movies, and it wasn't bootleg either. I bought them. We actually bought them. I borrowed one of my sisters, and it would actually help me overcome. And then at the end of a lot of the shows, he would actually do a little monologue where he would talk to the audience, and talk about what he was doing and what he was up to and how he started from nothing and built this empire. And back then it wasn't necessarily an empire. He was built in the midst of building the empire. Yeah. So, and we also did some tree work for you, Tyler. Call us again, okay? All right. But anyway.
But no, I'll say this. I respect him who he is now. In the beginning, the plays that he was putting out, I didn't appreciate him at the time, because the betrayal of the buffoonery in the sense of the black characters that he was having on there. I'm just saying it's certain things that.
But it's not buffoonery. These are real characters in the African American community that we somehow
wait.
feel.
Some of those characters was just overly flamboyantly either really, really stupid, really, really just over the top. I'm saying, and I appreciate what he was doing because he was providing for an audience,
right.
And he was doing that.
Or uncles that we can relate to that are represented on those characters. And I feel like until Tyler Perry, it was called like the Chitlin Circuit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of black people, that was their only way into Hollywood. That was their only way into making a living, was the Chitlin Circuit. And we honored those characters. Mm-hmm. And those characters were sometimes some of our only form of entertainment.
I understand.
Well, Tyler took that, and I felt like he took it up a notch, and he gave black people jobs. He gave people careers. Mm-hmm. He gave people opportunities when they couldn't get opportunities. Yeah, there's a lot of our top actors and actresses that have major careers now because of the work that they did with Tyler Perry.
Right. Well, the thing is, you see him now. But now, hold on. Now, do y'all remember an episode of the Boondocks that they did on Tyler Perry?
I'm not talking to him.
Wait. No.
I do.
Yeah. He's not doing this.
Wait. We're going to go down hit memory lane.
Actually, it was so nice talking with you.
Because see, See, the story behind this is it was so truthful that he actually called them and said, take this off the air. And it only ran once, but it was so truthful of the way that he was portraying people and doing people during that time. So
I don't even know I never even saw it. So
right, and that's why
I just know
why you're still like a big fan.
Perry.
Right.
I love Tyler
But
Perry.
just don't be mad if
Tyler
everybody
Perry, I love you.
If everybody, just because you have done a lot of great things or you have a big name now,
right?
I'm not just gonna be like,
I liked him before his name, but this was when he was doing the stage plays.
Okay, time out. I'm talking about me right now. Okay, we don't discuss you,
but you're a black man,
right? I'm a black man in entertainment that know Tyler Perry when he first started out. I was there with him in a sense when he first started out. I remember him coming to the radio stations when he was first starting out. He was a different person then. And I'm not knocking.
He was a different person.
He was a more humble, different person then.
He's humble now. He's humble now.
He's in another tax bracket, is it? So.
Yeah, he's in a different tax bracket now. And he understand this. Then he was coming to radio stations. You know, he's too big for that now.
That is not true.
Okay. I'm giving you the proper information that I'm saying. Granted, the image now has changed. He's Tyler. Everything is great. But back in the day when he was starting out, it was a different response towards him. And I appreciate the man's hustle. Like I said, now I appreciate him more for what he's done. He has given people blacks jobs and everything of that nature.
Yes.
And I'm happy about that now. When he was first starting out, I'm just being honest. I wasn't crazy about what he was putting out and the depiction of African Americans that he was putting out there. And
I apprecited the depictions of the African Americans he was put out because those were
because she want to work for him, so now he ain't did nothing wrong.
You know what? Those were real aunts, those were real uncles, and they were not represented in mainstream media. And he gave our people a voice, and I'm thankful for that.
So Marty,
that doesn't mean that I want to glorify, whatever the challenges were in our community, but those people are Big Mama is real. Uncle Brown is real. Those are real people. They might be exaggerated stereotypes, but there are people in our family that I have an uncle that acted like that. I have a grandmother that acted like that. I have aunties that acted like that. And to see them in the media, I think it's beautiful, as you were saying.
She is doing her best to sell that. Yes, Ashlee.
So Marty, when you were saying everything, it reminded me of two things. So one, I was in a meeting because, mind you, like I do programming for radio. I was in a meeting a while ago, and it was the pop side that was saying the reason that people love Cardi B so much all around is because they don't think of her as a real person. They think of her as like a toy because she's so
right.
She's like random and she's just entertaining. And when you were speaking about Tyler Perry, I've had this conversation before. I love everything Tyler Perry stands for now. I didn't have a problem with him back then because I wasn't thinking that deep into it, that he was, perpetuating stereotypes. I was just being entertained. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. There are families that have crackhead moms and, they're really cool. But then it also opened the conversation, and I know we're getting ready to wind down, but the conversation that do you think that our culture can be successful in the entertainment Hollywood world if we're not depicting those buffoonery stereotypes? Because
we can. Yes, we can. But I'm saying those characters are important, just like the Malcolm X characters are important.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How many crackheads did the Cosby Show have?
That was an important show. I love the Cosby Show. But they I don't necessarily like Bill Cosby, but I love the Cosby Show. Right. And that was one of my favorite shows. That was one of my favorite
shows, and they had classy people that were doing stuff that were above. They purposely didn't want to make them a lower tier. With all and that's what I'm just saying. It's just the choice of how you present African Americans. That you say, hey, this is a better way of presenting us.
Okay.
Ashley about to say something.
Go ahead, Ashley.
The only thing I was going to say is that I agree with you because A Different World, Cosby Show, like all those are like some of my favorite shows. But that was a different time because if you put on A Different World now, would it still be popular? Because Love and Hip Hop is what is popping right now. Like we're in a different era of what people want of shock value and things like that. That's why I asked. That's why I asked you. You think that we can have, regular, serious, roles will still prosper.
I put it like this, Ashlee, and I'm not. I guess this is a shameless plug, but when I first started my tree service, for those that don't know, I have a tree service here in Atlanta, Georgia. Mm-hmm. When I first started my company, because I didn't have the fancy equipment yet, because I didn't have the big trucks, because I didn't have cute shirts with the cute logo and stuff, and I was still trying to create my brand, I was not getting attention from people that were in the bougie or the upper middle class or whatever. Mm. But you know who gave me a shot? The people in my own community, the people from where I came from. There were people that maybe they didn't have the fanciest house, but they would see my tree truck, or they would see me in a store. They would see my little raggedy shirt, or I'd give them a business card and they would call me, and we did a good job for them. And then they would tell other people about it. And our company started to grow. But the backbone of our company was built by poor and middle class African-American people that supported my company, that weren't the fancy people. And so the fact that I treated them with the same level of respect that I would treat somebody else, whether they were in Alpharetta or if they were in Buckhead or Bankhead, I treated them the same level of respect. And what I liked about Tyler Perry is he treated us all with the same level of respect, regardless of where we came from. Mm-hmm. And so as somebody that's had to build a company from nothing to something, I appreciate the hustle, and I appreciate him honoring and respecting our community to market to our community. I deliberately market to our community because I believe that we are an underserved community. And the reason why his stage plays and stuff blew up so much is because people finally felt like their voices were being heard. So there.
Yeah, she just. Yeah, because I serve people in Decatur. That's why I think that he's just doing a great job.
I do. And you know what?
And that's the problem. She's talked so much she can't even hear.
In Lithonia, in Jonesboro,
so back to the question.
Yes, I do. And I love that.
It don't even connect to the two. But yeah, what was you saying though?
As you were saying, Ashlee.
No, I was, I love this little Tyler Perry tangent.
And like I said, I really do appreciate the guy.
I'm mad at him now.
I know she's mad at me, but I don't.
But he don't care.
No, because it's just two sides of the coin. I'm being honest. Of when he first hit the scene, when he was doing all of the bootleg stuff, he
wasn't doing bootleg stuff.
Sorry, when all of his movies were being bootlegged, and like I said, I applaud him for what he was doing. Some of the characters that he was portraying, I'm not that crazy about, But like I said, a black man that made his own Hollywood here, I applaud that. I applaud that. Now, some of the other underlying things of who he is, I'm just not crazy about.
What do you mean who he is? He's a good man.
Certain things I'm not going to say on air. I just say it like that. Okay, and I'm trying to be nice, and it's very rare that I put out that disclaimer. There's certain things that I'm not going to. Because I know you're going to work with him one day. But I've had a long history in this place. So so anyway, this is very, very intriguing and
I would like to end it with I love Tyler Perry. I'm looking at the camera saying I love Tyler Perry. And yes, I do want to work with you one day.
See that,
and I'd like to drag this dude with me, but if you don't want to bring him with me, that's okay. It'll just be me and you, Tyler. It's cool.
Yeah.
We're comedy gold, I know.
Yeah, I just, I never approach people like that. I just, I appreciate him. I work for him.
What do you mean you don't approach people like what?
I just want to work for you, whatever you want me to do.
I said work with.
I'll work with you. Just tell me.
I didn't
with
say
somebody
it like
with that kind of money, you don't work with, you work for. With somebody with that long kind of money. It ain't like, well, let's partner into cutting down trees.
I mean, he got that whole.
Okay, you know who Gary Owen is, right? He's a comedian.
She was about to ask a question.
Okay, shut up.
No, I was just going to say he got that whole lot. So, Doni pre-work a lot. Gary Owen.
What's that? What'd you say?
I said, yes, I know who you were going to say. Gary Owen.
Gary Owen, he's a comedian. Okay, and at the end of his podcast, he asks each guest who would they like to work with. Mm-hmm. And the people look into the camera and say who they'd like to work with. And a lot of those people have now worked with some of the people that coincidentally that they want to work with. a closed mouth don't get fed.
That they
so anywho, as you were saying, Ashlee.
I said that they spoke into existence. Well,
there you go.
Doni said she wants to end it on she loves Tyler Perry. Tyler, we know you got a studio, a big house. You need tree work. Hit up Doni. You need if he needs a home call from a pastor, Mardy, and he calls you, you gonna go?
Oh yes, I would go, but I want to work on a
we're talking production,
I want to work on a stage play or a screenplay. I want some of that long money. I don't want to cut down a tree for
I'll take cutting down the tree. But I'll also take working with you
me
on a project.
Yes.
We have Vast Productions. We have Doni Jones Live, and I also own a tree service.
Right now, I gotta wait till the camera is cut off because it's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm like, you didn't know. You didn't know. You really didn't know.
Make sure the camera is completely
right. That's
off.
why I'm like, like I said, I love the dude. I respect him, but
Well, y'all, as always, I love our little check-ins, and it is about time. But
actually, we love what you're doing. Seriously.
We really do.
You are an inspirational person. And I love that you out here doing your thing and showing other people that, let me tell you something, don't just talk about it, be about it. And that's what I feel like you do.
And I love your hair.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. You know.
Mardy got a little crush on you. I'm just going to put that out there.
Close mouth don't get big.
All right, y'all. Well, before I let you go, obviously tell everyone where they can find the podcast, where they can follow your intense journey, Doni.
Oh, you supposed to be find it on iTunes.
Yeah. What's going on with our iTunes? But basically, social media. If you put in Doni Jones Live, we're gonna pop up somewhere on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud. Well, not SoundCloud. But just put us in and we will pop up her face.
Doni
usually
Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. And also I would like for you guys to in droves go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. You'll see me and Marty's face pop up. Hit that like and subscribe button.
Yeah.
We're trying to get at least 50 subscribers.
We're just starting off with 2. So
and then also, if they need production, where can they get?
Yes, Vast Productions.
Vast Productions. You got that new number, right? Because I usually give out my straight number, but some wrong people have been calling me.
Yeah, I know, right? Go to vastproductions.net if you have some production work that you need done. We have a number on there you can call. They'll get you set up with an appointment with Mardy. And also, you can fill out a form online and tell us what your production needs are, and we'll take care of you.
Yep.
Yes. Well, I think it's until next month, right? Which is a week away.
I enjoy doing this with you, Ashlee.
Yes, we really love it. And you stay warm and safe out there too.
Yes. Do you need us to send you some water?
Or a blanket?
You know,